Welcome to C Programming. In today's lecture, we are going to learn about relational operators and logical operators. Relational operators are used to compare two values. The values can be fixed or they can be variable. Like you can have variables in place or fixed values like 10, 12 and so on. So let us study them one by one by making some sample programs. The very first operator is double equal to. Double equal to is not an assignment operator. It is an equal to operator. That means it compares whether one value is equal to other value or not. So let's try them by making a program. The first line is going to be hash include stdio.h, and after that void main, because I do not want to return any value from the main, and I'm going to declare some variable like a comma b comma result, and a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, and I will do something like this: result is equal to a double equal to b. Now you might be thinking that this will give an error, but no. Now what happens? This double equal to sign is comparison operator equal to, and this single equal to sign is an assignment operator. Now what happens that there are two things, one to the right hand side of assignment operator, one to the left hand side of assignment operator. First, the expression is evaluated, that is which is on the right hand side. Then whatever is the value returned, that is stored in the variable which is on the left hand side. Now what happens when these two values are compared? A double equal to b. We are comparing, is 10 equal to b, 10 equal to 20? No. Now what happens that C returns 0 for false and 1 for true. That is for all the comparisons. That is true for all the comparisons. So I will just write a comment. C returns 0 for false and 1 for true in a comparison. Okay, now let us run this program. Okay, before that, let me write a line to print the result. The result is %d, comma, and the variable. Now when you run this program, what happens that, now let us check the result. Result is 0. Why 0? Because first this expression is going to be evaluated. For if you are having any confusion, you can just write the expression in the round brackets. That will clear the confusion, that first this expression is going to be evaluated, and whatever the value returned by this expression, that will be stored in a variable called result. Now, as I have written that C returns 0 for false and 1 for true in a comparison. This comparison is returning false. So, a 0 value is returned, that is stored in a variable called result. And when we print that variable, we get the value 0 on the screen. Okay, when I make these two values same, now what is the result? Is 20 equal to 20? Yes, the expression evaluates to true. So 1 is returned, that is stored in the variable, and when we are printing the value, the result value is printed as 1. So the very simple thing, in C, 0 is for false and 1 is for true. C returns 0 for false and 1 for true in a comparison in all the expressions. Okay, let us check our next operator, that is greater than. Very simple, greater than sign, A greater than B. You can have the expression in the round brackets or as such, that is no problem. A greater than B. Is 20 greater than 20? No. So what is the value returned? 0. So the result will contain a value 0. Result is 0. Okay, and let us say B is equal to 10. And is 20 greater than 10? Yes. Result is 1. It's very simple. Similar is the operator less than sign. It will compare. Okay, in this particular case, A less than B, is 20 less than 10? No. So the result is 0. And if I make it something like this, greater than, yes, A is greater than B. So the result is 1. And the next operator is greater than equal to. Okay, this one greater than equal to. I will explain in a while this not equal to. Greater than equal to means the value is either greater or equal to. Okay, let us check. A greater than equal to B. In this case, A should be either greater than B or equal to B, any of the conditions. So the value of A is 20 and the value of B is 10. 20 is greater than 10. True. So the result is 1. And if I make both the values as same, 20, 20, A is 20, B is 20, is 20 greater than 20? No. But is 20 is equal to 20? Yes. So one condition is satisfied. So greater than equal to means either greater than or equal to. So the result will be true. So the value of result will be 1. Similar is less than or equal to. So less than or equal to means the comparison is between two values. The first value should be either less than or equal to the second value. In this case, A less than or equal to B. Is A less than B? No, 20 is not less than B. Is A equal to B? Yes, A is equal to B. So the expression results in true. So true means 1 is returned, which is stored in this variable. And when we print that variable, we get the value as 1. So very simple. You compare any two values, you will get either 0 or 1 in return by C. C returns 0 for false and 1 for true in a comparison. And this is very interesting comparison, not equal to. Not equal to means the value should not be equal to the second value, like A not equal to B. Now what happens? 20 is compared against 20. 20 not equal to 20. Is this true or false? Let us check. 20 not equal to 20, but 20 is equal to 20. So the condition becomes false. Slightly confusing, but not that much. Not equal to means if I say 10, is 10 equal to 20? Not equal to. Let us check. 10 not equal to 20. Condition is true. So 1 is returned. Very simple. So these are your relational operators. Double equal to sign, equal to operator, greater than operator, less than operator. Not equal to means value should not be equal to the second value. Then true is returned. Then the second last is greater than or equal to. Either the value should be greater or equal to the second value which is being compared. And the last one is less than or equal to. The value should be less than or equal to the second value which is being compared. So relational operators always work with two operands. In this case, A and B are operands, and in between we are having a relational operator. Now let us study the logical operators. Now what are logical operators? They are used to combine two comparisons. Okay, I will just make a sample program in a while. The very first operator is double AND, not in English AND, just from the keyboard two AND signs. AND means returns true if both operands are true, otherwise false. That means there has to be a condition on the right hand side of the AND operator, and there has to be a condition to the left hand side of AND operator. And if both conditions return true, only then the whole condition is true. Okay, let us check. It's very simple. For that, I will need, let us say, three variables. C also, and I will store a value in C is equal to 10. And I will write the comparison A greater than B and A greater than C. I will remove this equal to sign. Now first, let us understand this expression. The expression on the left hand side is a relational expression, This on the right hand side is also a relational expression. When two relational expressions are there, the logical operator works. That means the logical AND cannot work with the single relational expression. It needs two, one to the left, one to the right. A greater than C. Now let us check. That means this condition A greater than B and the second condition A greater than C both should return true. Then only the whole of the condition will become true. The persons who have studied logical gates, they may correlate with this, that in logical gates also, if both the conditions are true, only then true is returned by a logical AND gate. Similar is the operator, logical AND. Okay, let us check the first condition. A greater than B. Is 10 greater than 20? No. Second condition, A greater than C? No. Both are returning false. The total result is false. Okay, some error is there. Semicolon is not placed. As I explained earlier, that this is a syntax error. There are two types of errors, syntax error and logical error. Syntax error means the syntax is incorrect. That means something missing, something is missing from your code. Like in this particular case, semicolon was missing. The compiler won't compile. Logical errors are those errors which are the faults of programmer while coding, and the syntax wise the program is okay, but at the runtime the program does not behave as expected. Okay, I have corrected the syntax error. Now let us run this again. A greater than B? No. And A greater than C? No. False, false results in false. So the value of result is 0. Okay, now let us say A is 20, B is 10, and now what happens? A greater than B, 20 is greater than 10, yes. And A greater than C, is 20 greater than 10? In the second case also, yes. So this also returns true. This also returns true. The whole of the expression becomes true. So the result will contain a value 1. Result is 1. So for logical AND to work, the expression on the left hand side and the expression on the right hand side both should return true. Only then whole of the expression becomes true. And the second one, or sign is placed by using double pipe sign from the keyboard, like this, double pipe sign. Okay, I will just make this 20 again. Now what happens? This operator is also having one condition to the left, one condition to the right. So that means either of the conditions must return a true value. A greater than B? No. False. Second condition, A greater than C? Yes. So either of the conditions is returning true, the whole expression becomes true, or logical or. Similar to logical or gate, when you run this code, result is 1. So for logical AND operator, both the conditions should be true, and for the logical OR operator, any of the conditions should be true. And the last one, that is, we are having the NOT operator. We have covered these two. Then the NOT operator. NOT operator works on a single expression. It returns true if the operand is false and false if the operand is true. That means it negates the result. Okay, let us check. I will just remove this. Okay, to avoid confusion, I will also remove the variable and result equal to not of A greater than B. Now let us check. A greater than B. First, the expression is evaluated. Then the not of that is done. A greater than B. Is 20 greater than 20? No. The internal expression returns false, and the not of false is true. So the result in this case is true. Result is 1. So not just means negates the result. Okay. Let us say not of a greater than b. Is a greater than b? Yes. So the inside expression returns a value true. But when we negate that true, it becomes false. Now in this case, the result will contain a value 0. So very simple. 0 for false, 1 for true. Nothing to worry. And these are our relational and logical operators. Let us revise them once again. Relational operators, they work on two operands. Double equal to is for equal to, greater than, less than, not equal to, greater than or equal to. The value should be either greater than the second value or equal to either of the conditions, less than or equal to. Similarly, the first value should be either less than or equal to the second value. Relational operators. And then the logical operators, logical and, or, and logical not. These first two, logical and logical or, they join to relational expressions. Double and means logical and, it returns true if both the conditions are true, otherwise false. Logical or, it returns true if at least one of the conditions, or you can say operands, that is true, otherwise false. Not, it singly or you can say simply works on a single condition or single operand. So like this, not works on a single expression. So do not get confused by operand, just treat it as a single expression. Relational expression, that is termed as a single operand for comparison purposes with the logical operators. So 0 for false, 1 for true. So that was all for this particular lecture, relational operators and logical operators. In the next, sorry, in the next lecture, we are going to study about the conditional constructs, if statement, if condition. That is, if a condition has various, you can say, formats, one way, if, two way, if, and multi way. We will study them all in detail. And before ending the session, let me make some very simple programs for the concepts we have covered earlier also. Okay, so let us say I am going to make a simple program. I will write at the top, find the area of a circle whose radius is input from the keyboard. It's a very simple mathematical, you can say, expression. Area of a circle is pi r square. Now what happens? Computer doesn't know any pi. So we will just use something like that. Float pi is equal to 3.14. And we need to get radius from the user. And I will declare a second variable, radius. And just get the value from the user, printf, enter the radius of a circle, and we get that value. For float, we need the format as %f and comma and of radius. And let me print the area, printf area circle is %f comma. Okay, now pi r square, that means pi's values I have taken in a variable called pi into radius into radius. So we need to multiply 2 times. Okay, when you run this program, and let us say I give the radius as 10. Area of the circle is, that is giving with the 6 decimals by default. You want to compute up to, you can say 2 digits. You can just write 0.2f. And when you run this again, and let us say 5, the area of circle is this. So these are very simple programs. You can also try at your own end. You can get it from your textbooks or from the internet. Just try the small programs so that the concept is clear to you. And in this case, very simple program I have made. Two float variables. This I did not store in a variable, that can be stored in a variable, and the variable can be displayed. I just computed the expression on the go. That is also valid, no problem. And let us make one comparison question also. And let us say, okay, before that I will clear the output. For the operators we just learned that, okay, let me clear these lines and I will comment input three numbers. Okay, that will become slightly complex, that we will cover in if condition. Input two numbers and print the greatest. That means the comparison is going to be between two numbers, and for this particular case I am going to use a ternary operator. I will write question mark ternary operator will be used to compare. Till now we have studied unary operators and binary operators. The users who have not watched my video for arithmetic operators, they can watch the video for the same. And we studied in that video the unary operator that works on a single operand, and binary operators, they work on at least two operands. And okay, you can say they always work on two operands in a pair. And ternary operator, as the name suggests, it will work on three operands. That means it requires three operands or three conditions. Okay, let us check. For that I need two numbers, int a comma b, or rather some meaningful names, number 1 comma number 2, and printf enter first number and get the value using scanf. The format for int is %d comma number 1, printf enter second number, and the again scanf is going to be %d for integer value. Now we need some comparison, and something is missing, that is and sign from the scanf. And I need a variable result to store, which will contain the variable which is greatest. Okay, I will say result equal to number 1 greater than number 2, that we just learned. This is a simple relational operator. Sorry, relational operator in this case is greater than sign, and we have a relational expression. We are going to evaluate whether number 1 is going to be greater than number 2. So I will now write question mark, that is ternary operator, and I will say, you can say number 1 and colon sign number 2, and printf greatest number is %d comma result. Now what happens? First let us run this program. Okay, and there is some error again. Scanf %d expected before scanf. Let me check the error. Some problem is there. Number 2, enter second number, semicolon is missing. So you have to be okay, no doubt, if you know, like it is giving the line scanf %d and number 2, compiler will give you some hint to remove the syntax error. Semicolon was missing, and some compilers, they allow you to save a file every time when you make some changes, and it's better idea make some changes, save, then run the program. Okay, when I run this program, enter the first number 10, enter the second number 20, greatest number is 20. Okay, now what happens when I say number 1 equal to number 2, then it will just return either number 1 or number 2, but that will be wrong result. We won't make it so complicated. We are just comparing two, whether the first number is greater or not. Just input two separate numbers, not equal, just separate numbers. So it's a very simple program. Going for a simple relational condition, number 1 is greater than number 2. In this case, question mark is ternary operator, and it is having 3. 1 this, 2 this, 3rd this. it is working on three operands. The first one is a condition, and if the condition becomes true, number one is returned, that is stored in a variable result. If the condition is false, the part after the colon is executed. Number two will be stored in the result. So it's a very simple operator. I just covered it that so you are familiar with the expressions. But these relational expressions and you can say logical expressions, they will be used extensively while working with if conditions and loops. C has three loops: while loop, do while loop, and for loop. In the next lecture, we are going to study the if statement or if condition in very detail by making some simple programs. And stay tuned. Till then, goodbye.